And welcome back. It's your host, Texas Boy. Look, wake up kind of iffy this morning, but look, we're gonna get into it. We are gonna get into it. Last night was a long night, very long night. We had a great night of fights. Catch my breath, running in and outside. Now look, UFC 318 happened in New Orleans. That's where it happened. New Orleans, Louisiana. I'm from Texas. It's my next door neighbor. Shout out to them. So look, we had three fights on the cancellation last night. Okay. And I just want to run through those real quick, those three fights, to let y'all know who those were. That was Neil Magny versus Gunnar Nelson, Aram Alskarov versus Bruno Ferreira, and then Amanda Ribas versus Tabitha Ricci. So, with the first fight of the night, banger. Knee straight to the liver. Whew. Can't get no better than that in the women's flyweight. Cardi Jose, she came out with the dub. Straight knee to the liver. Delivered in a great fashion. So, shout out to her. First fight of the night, we got a straight dubski on it. So, if you were betting on prize picks, you won. You won on that one. Now, the second one, Bruno Ferreira, he got moved up. Okay. He got moved up. Now, I say the first name because 9 times out of 10, it's always the first name that always, you know what I'm saying, pulls out from the fight. Now, Bruno, he actually made the card. He actually moved up. The other two did not. He actually moved up and fought Jason McVeigh and got the submission in round one. It was crazy. It was a nice transition to an armbar. If y'all didn't see it, he was on full mount and then he just slipped. He slips north-south position, slips right out that little escape route, right into an armbar. So, very good transition. Very good fight for him because honestly, um, him versus Alaskarov. Alaskarov pretty good. So obviously, if he had to pull out from the fight, it was for a reason, right? Then you go down south to the man himself, Ryan Spann. He's going from light heavyweight to heavyweight. I believe this is his second fight at heavyweight. Also, he's going up against another heavyweight in Lucas Preski. Okay, so Lucas is actually coming off the Dana White Contender Series, Tuesday Night Contender Series. So for y'all that don't know him, he had a rough patch in the beginning of his UFC career when he came off the Contender Series. But I believe he's gonna be a force to be reckoned with. We'll have to see about that. That 9-7-1 record don't really speak too much. Now compared to Ryan Spann's 23-11, I'm just saying he got the dub over you last night, so get a man his respect. You know what I mean? Now, moving on to the next fight, Jimmy Crute versus Marcin. Now, look, I didn't expect Jimmy Crute to get the submission. Most definitely did not expect him to get the submission in round one. Now, Jimmy Crute, light heavyweight, very doable. Fought fought the likes of all the top 25 light heavyweights already. Um, he needs to break into the top 15. He needs to find a path, find a way to break into the top 15. Jimmy Crute is a force to be reckoned with. He got a great record, 13-4-2. Now, your opponent's 17-9. He got more fights than you, but you finished him off. Hats off to you. No Diddy. Nah, just messing with y'all. Just messing with y'all. Now look, the Adam feud versus the Islam, that was crazy. I'm not even gonna lie to you. That was absolutely crazy mess. That knockout, now that just moves Adam on up into the welterweight rankings, but you ain't broken to the top 15 yet. If you want my opinion, because we're gonna move on eventually to the main card. Uh, if you look at the main card, Daniel Rodriguez, Kevin Holland. I'm just saying, Adam Fruit, you on the way. I think you versus D-Rod would be actually a good matchup. You boys were on the same card. You boys ain't have too much hurt. You boys uh got a nice win. You got a nice finish. Why not match it up right there? I feel like that would be a good one. But you're gonna have to ask somebody else because I don't make the cards. So that was the early prelims, by the way. Banger, banger after banger. Okay, all fights, all finishes, except for the ones that got canceled, obviously. Now look, normally when you go from early prelims to prelims, it's gonna be I, I, I. Nah, we ain't really, nah, we ain't really go like that. Now the early prelims, bangers. Now these prelims, the first one, absolute banger. You know what I mean? Uh, I can't say this guy's name for the life of me. For the life of me. Okay, can't do it. Can't do it. Won't do it. Can't do it. But anyways, just because I can't do that, I'm gonna show you what I'm reading. If you can see it. Yep. Probably not. Anyways, I tried. Y'all know what middleweight fight I'm talking about too, by the way, because that was a banger. That was a banger. Now the next three, all decisions. I felt like they were going to be decisions, and that's just how they were. Good fights, decisions. You know what I mean? Decisions are good. Marvin Tory versus the Brendan Allen. That was a really good fight, but I feel like somebody could have got a finish in there. Brendan, feel like you could have got the finish in there, bro. I seen it. Kind of feel like you could have got the finish. Didn't really feel you push like you normally try to push, but nonetheless, good dub for you. Good dub for you. Now we're gonna move on to the main card because obviously it wasn't his banger. It was a banger fight, but it wasn't his banger. You know what I mean? The early prelims set the whole night afire. And then everything else just kind of dulled it out. The Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier fight. It was actually a really good fight. It was actually a really good fight between two legends in the sport. Can't just say lightweight legends because they fought at featherweight. So two legends of the sport, 100%. Both of them future Hall of Famers. Max Holloway's a Hall of Famer right now. Um, walking the face of God's green earth. But anyways, we gonna get into the main card right here. Now we had Michael Johnson, the OG of the UFC, versus Daniel Zehuber. Now look, Daniel, he's a young, flashy guy. Reminds me of a guy from around this way, I know. But a lot of talent. Okay, this kid, you got a lot of talent. When you got somebody like Michael Johnson, who you coming up against, he's a veteran. He's fought the likes of Justin Gaethje, Nate Diaz, you name it. You know what I mean? Clay Guida. Like, come on, like he's fight the who's of the UFC. When you got a talented kid like this, talent can only take you so far. You need something else to take you a little bit more than that. Last night he didn't have that. I didn't see that in him last night. I didn't see him having he was missing what the UFC veteran had. He was missing it. He was getting cracked with shots, got dropped with a nice left, straight right, and then a straight left down the middle. Bam, right? So shout out to Michael Johnson for doing his thing. He said he was gonna go in there and show the young buck what it's all about. I believe he went in there and showed the young buck, like, hey, there's levels to this. You can't be doing that. There's levels to this. Don't we don't do that over here. You know what I mean? He'll come here and fight, come here and fight. But talent can only take you so far, you know? So Great win. Next fight. Lackluster. Dan Ige. Patricio Pitbull. Second fight in the UFC, by the way. Second fight in the UFC, by the way. Michael Chandler comes over here. First fight, banger. Second fight, banger. Third fight, banger. Fourth fight, banger. Fifth fight, banger. Second fight in the UFC, dull as hell. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Look, I understand he's got a great record, 37-8. You just lost you won this one barely, and you lost your debut. These performances, Alexander Volkanovski is gonna slay you like a dragon, son. He he go look. If I got any Brazilian fans, I'm sorry, but he gonna beat his ass. Those performances, that Patrici, no, we ain't. That's not the Pitbull we used to. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I guess he left all that extra in Bellator. I guess that's where he wanted to leave so bad, but then he gets to the UFC and all of a sudden we won't get bangers. We get bangers for years over in Bellator. And then we get to the UFC, we won't get bangers. They pay you more money. They got a bigger spotlight. You know what I mean? Better sponsors. And you gonna tell me you ain't gonna give us a banger? Okay. We're gonna leave that to you and not giving us what we deserve as fans. As fans, I feel like we deserve the Patricio Pitbull that came from fucking Bellator that was doing fucking damage. That's what I feel like. I feel like we should be there, but we ain't there, so he ain't gonna give it to us. And that just is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like Dan Ige should have got that. I feel like Dan Ige got robbed. He's a really good fighter. You know, he started out as a manager. Ali Abdelabziz's manager. You know what I mean? Like personal assistant type shit. Switched over to started fighting. Obviously, when you're liked and you got pulled like that, you could just some people could just hop into the UFC, but some people can't. Now, we're gonna move on to the next fight. We ain't gonna harp too much on the Bellators. You know what I mean? We ain't this is UFC. We ain't gonna harp too much. Now we got Kevin Holland, Texas, versus Daniel Rodriguez, D-Rod. Now look, man, really great fight. Kind of felt like Kevin was lackluster in that one. You know what I mean? He was to the side. Feel like he was looking for a spinning attack and never really just got off of it. You know what I mean? Just never really got off of the spinning attacks that he was trying to pull, the kung fu that he likes to do. Um Daniel Rodriguez was game. He stayed in there. He stayed in the paint. Heavy hands, smart work. Excuse me. Nothing really much more you can say about that one. That was a really good fight. A 3-round war. I loved it. I hope that the fans loved it as much as I did because it was really good. Co-main event time. We're going to get to the co-main and the main event now. Now, look. Co-main. Roman. What's up, bro? We got Roman. I feel like, look, the two fighters I'm going to announce that's got the most lackluster performances, and one of them caught a L and one of them caught a dub, was Roman Kopylov and Patricio Pitbull. Now, look, y'all just standing there. What what the hell is this? What the hell is this? What the hell is this? You just letting Paulo get off on you. You just standing there like this. A couple hard kicks. Are you like a Danielle Zellhuber Hariapa down here? You know what I mean? Danielle Zellhuber ain't got, you know what I mean? He ain't got shit for him. Nothing, bro. Like, what was that? Like, I understand you had a little layoff, but Roman, you let Paulo get you like that? Paulo trying to get Hamza Shemaev, to be honest with you. And that's going down August 16th, UFC 318. All right. Now, enough messing around. Let's get into the neat and agreed. Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier. Absolute banger. Okay? Absolute banger. Nobody got finished, but hey, on bangers, not everybody's got to get finished now. Not everybody's got to get finished. Okay. The craziest part about this fight is that Dustin gets dropped twice off the bat. He gets dropped twice. And then Max gets dropped. And then they just have this back and forth and then the subtle moment and then a couple eye pokes, couple kicks here and there. But through and all, it was a really great night to watch Dustin go out, however he went out. You know what I mean? It was nice to see him go out on his way because not a lot of fighters get to go out on their way. Not a lot of fighters get to go out in any way that they see possible. You know what I mean? Fighters get told, hey, you should retire, or they just get told what to do. They don't do what they want to do. They don't go out how they want to go out. They don't do this. They don't do that. Now, some people may think when some people talking about retirement, they should retire. Other people shouldn't retire. Blah, 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 blah. Hey, it goes for one, it goes for all. If you're thinking about retiring, you should retire. That was a good banger of a fight. I'm not gonna lie, it was a good banger of a fight. But talking to fighters from now on, talking about retirement before their last fight, that's out of line. Like I understand he wanted to feel the love and feel respected and all this great stuff, which is lovely. But announce your retirement after your fight. Keep that shit bundled up. Because we don't need that. You know what I mean? Not no more. Don't pull a Dustin Poirier card. You know what I mean? Don't be, I want to go off in my hometown. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. That was his moment. Let him have his shine. Don't do that to him. Other than that, guys, look, UFC 318 was absolutely banger of a card, except for the ones that got canceled and then the ones that were a little lackluster. I mean, other than that, they were all bangers. Certified fights. A lot of people were talking about this card like it wasn't going to really beat nothing. Were you not entertained? I'm pretty sure with the majority, 75% of the fights, you were entertained. And then maybe 15, 25% of the fights, you were not so much entertained. But hey, Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier 3 is over with. Dustin Poirier is out of the sport. No more DP. Diamonds are forever, though. He was an interim champion. He tried to be a BMF champion. It didn't work out for him. He is 2-1 against Max, though. Max got him on the last one. But hey, let me know what y'all think about the fights in the comments. Each and every fight now. Let me know what y'all think about the early prelims, the prelims, and the main card. Especially the main event. Co-main and main event. Let me know what y'all think about that. Kind of felt like Roma Kopilov was a little from what we used to seeing. 6 first-round finishes. Come on. Paulo was doing him. He was getting off. It's been a minute. A little ring rust. Supposed to take advantage of that. But Roman didn't do that. So let me know what y'all think about that fight because I feel like that one could have been a lot better. I kind of personally felt like that could have been a lot better though. And we will have more videos dropping this week on. We're gonna have a video dropping on the Manny Pacquiao fight. We're gonna have a video dropping on UFC 319 this week, and we're also gonna have a video just about everything in general. Um, I was trying to pick Sundays to do Sunday segments. Might still be doing that. Might bring that back next week and start doing that consistently more. Sunday segments are just gonna be. I guess that's what today was, but it's really a recap of UFC 318. Um, so with that being said, just stay tuned, stay focused, hit that subscribe button, and let me know in the comments what you think. Can only get better. Until next time, Texas boy.